Welcome to Infield Fly, our podcast about baseball. My name is Jonah White. Let's turn things over to Tommy Hodgkins.
Thank you, Jonah. We got a full week of Major League Baseball in the books. Baseball is back. It's better than ever. A lot of changes this year, a lot of interesting storylines already. Any first impressions, general thoughts so far?
Well, it's interesting you say better than ever. I think that could be a topic for a later podcast. Is baseball better than ever? But we'll just let that marinate and maybe pick it up at a later time.
All right.
Baseball is back, and it's still great.
It is.
The Mets are not.
Neither are the Nats.
Well, that was expected.
That was expected.
The World Baseball Classic was incredible. I think that it got me into baseball mode earlier than usual. It's not been as, usually opening day, it's like, boom, now it's all of a sudden switched to baseball mode. It wasn't even like that this year. Baseball, had already been happening for a couple of weeks. But, yeah, it's great. I mean, it's just as a Met fan, there's just opening up the, whatever it is, computer TV, listening to Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, and Ron Darling. Not that many things, Tommy, are the same thing from when you're 6 years old, but
yeah, I know.
Gary, Keith, and Ron on SNY, you wouldn't know, but as a Mets fan, it's quite something, and I think most all Mets fans, especially my age, would agree. You know what I found out yesterday, listening to the game? Ron Darling used to be the color commentator for the Nationals. Did you know that?
Really?
In their first season, from one season,
2005. Wow.
And then ever since then, he ran away and he's been with the Mets.
Wow. Yeah. So he would have sat right next to Bob Carpenter. You say I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't, because this is the first year of my baseball watching life that Bob Carpenter isn't calling the Nats.
Bob Carpenter of the Bob Carpenter Broadcasting Scorebook.
Yeah, I know. Legend in broadcasting and scorekeeping too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we actually both went to some opening day games separately.
Some opening day games. Yeah, that's
I know.
right.
Well, what was your experience like?
Well, first, it was my first time at opening day, and I think it was ever.
Wow.
I think it was as far as I could remember, and it was quite a unique experience because I was in Florida, and I saw the Marlins take on the Rockies to open
exciting matchup.
The Major League Baseball season. Jake McCarthy was the first batter I saw in person this Major League season. It was a great game. It was 2-1, I believe. The Rockies had some chances, and they couldn't get it done. Somebody on the Marlins threw someone out at home. I don't remember who it was, but it was a very exciting game. And Billy the Marlin was very happy afterwards. They had fireworks out to the game. My first experience in Marlins Park. I've hit now half the ballparks, Tommy. 15 out of 30. 15. How about that?
Yeah.
And just a great experience. The fighting fish and all that.
How about those fish?
I mean, they played the Rockies, so they keep that into account. But. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was quite the game. It was a great game.
Nice,
competitive all the way through, and I enjoyed Marlins Park. I think I had a conversation with a couple of people. The biggest thing it lacks that's going to when we do our ballpark rankings very soon, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing Marlins Park lacks is Lone Depot Park lacks is character.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's a big criteria for me in evaluating a ballpark. But it's got a lot of cool things. It's a pleasant place to walk around. The roof was open when I was there. It's just a really nice environment. The bobblehead museum I didn't really know about. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
The people are, friendly. It's Florida. But, I'm a little biased against them because of what happened last year and in 2007 and in 2008. But it was a good experience.
Nice.
How was your opening day experience?
Yeah, personally, I was at Wrigley Field here in Chicago. My Washington Nationals were in town to play the Chicago Cubs. I went to all 3 games of that series. The opening day I wasn't expecting to go to, but I remember texting a friend, like, if I find a a ticket for like this amount of dollars. This was hours before the game. I was like, I'll just buy it and go to the game. And then I found a pretty decently priced ticket, and ended up going to opening day.
You mind sharing how much?
It was $65 for section 220.
Wow.
On SeatGeek.
Okay.
No promos, but
Yeah.
the Nats won that opening day. They lost on Saturday. They won on Sunday. So it was a lot of fun on Saturday and Sunday. I was sitting in the bleachers, which is it's completely unique experience in baseball. And it was just a great time. I had some friends in town who are also Nats fans, rooting with me. We were a group of Nats fans in the sea of Cubs fans in those bleachers, and so we made a few enemies while the Nats were winning. But it was a great time. It's always great. I think opening day is like honestly the best day of the year. There's just so much. So with opening day comes so much like hope and like possibility, just not just for your own team, but for the entire league. And like you have the entire 2026 season is an empty book that will be written over the next however so many months. Yeah,
metaphor. How about that?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think opening day is beautiful. I don't know.
It is beautiful. Halloween, I think, is the best day of the year. But
over opening day.
Oh, maybe that's
a hot take.
Wow. Well,
Halloween is the best day of the year.
I don't know, the Yankees played the Giants on opening day, so why wasn't that exciting?
Yeah, you know what?
If you're gonna say it's a day, then that was opening day.
Yeah, well, we need to bring that back. Every team needs to start on the same day.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
then maybe it'll go back to. Yeah, maybe it'll be the best day of the year then. But I'm glad you had a fun time. Did you run into anybody on the street recently?
I've ran into a few Major League Baseball players.
Wow.
Alex Bregman,
Dalen
Lyle.
Winner. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Dalen Lyle.
I still don't know who he is. You can keep saying
Max
his name,
Scherzer.
though.
Max Scherzer I've ran into yesterday before the Blue Jays played the White Sox today. But
you should have said hi, but he would have been excited to see you.
Yeah, Mad Max. I did. But he was in Mad Max mode.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I was gonna talk about a few notable players who have performed well. I was focusing more on younger guys. I have a bunch of rookies here. I don't know. Did you have any notable players to start, or do you want to go at the end?
I'm going to save my one notable player for a later segment in the show.
All right, sounds good. So I have 3 rookie bats that are performing just really well. My favorite is Sal Stewart of the Cincinnati Reds. He's just looked like a great all-around hitter. He's currently batting .429 average. His OPS is .1428. 2 home runs. He just like fits into that lineup really well. Especially with like Ellie De La Cruz, that kind of raw talent, but like has the swing and miss. And Eugenio Suarez back in that lineup, also just kind of more of a power only bat. Sal Stewart is his more well-rounded bat. Really fits into that lineup, and I really like the way he's playing so far. And then a lot of people may know about Chase DeLauder because of his opening day weekend. He hit
Opening weekend.
Opening weekend.
Day weekend at the same time.
Well, opening day is the kind of the brand name, and they call it opening day weekend, I think. But he's I think he was placed on the IL recently. Unfortunately, I know he got injured, but he had that like monstrous opening day weekend where he hit I believe 4 home runs, something like that. And so he's a really exciting name to watch. And then my third and final rookie bat, Kevin McGonigal. Really highly rated prospect. He's also batting really well. 346 average, 952 OPS. I think the Tigers really need someone like him to kind of compete in the AL, and I think that he can. He's really young. He's 21 years old. He can really be a really good, productive addition to that lineup.
You think he gets into the all-name team?
Kevin McGonigal. I think he's close. I'm not
It's on
gonna
the border.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put him in just yet, but that's a good name.
There's we'll make it the all-name team at some point.
Yeah.
One person I know is the captain.
Yeah, and Sal Stewart, not a bad name himself, but
I don't know if he's on the all-name team.
no, definitely.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah. I also have two young pitchers. They're not rookies, but two young pitchers that I'm really high on right now. Well, first of all, we have Connor Griffin. He's not a pitcher, but he's the top prospect. He's making his debut, I think, today.
Really?
Yeah. They called him up, but his teammate Bubba Chandler, he's kind of he's kind of like a Paul Skeens type. Not the same like command, but
does he get out of the first inning?
he did in his first start.
Wow,
he pitched
so
4
not
and a
a Paul
third.
Keynes type then.
Yeah, at least in 2026. 4 and a third, but no earned runs. His stuff is just really, really good. And if he can kind of like control it and command it, I think he could be one of the better pitchers in the league. And then my last notable player, Chase Burns. I think it was he was a Wake Forest guy. ACC. Shout out ACC.
What?
His
I don't know if that's a lot. Shout out ACC.
ACC
a lot of
baseball
players
just
in the
means
ACC.
more. I know, it just means more.
And you only went to one of the schools.
Well, Chase Burns
Okay.
also went to one of them. He pitched. He had a really good 5-inning outing. I think he's another player that could have a breakout year this year. So he's definitely like one of my top names to watch.
All right. Very exciting.
Yeah.
I have a name to watch, but it'll be combined with one of the later segments in our show.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about ABS.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? What's it stand for
Automated
again?
balls and strikes.
Automated. That's the
Yeah.
word I was looking for. I was going to say alternative, but that didn't make sense.
That would not have made sense.
That's more Angel Hernandez.
Yeah. Or CB Buckner.
Yeah.
For that matter.
The automated ball strike system. Thoughts? It's weekend of the season?
Yeah, I think going into the season, I talked about how I was pro ABS, and I think I'm even more pro now. I've really liked how it's been implemented, how expedited it's been. It's added like a lot of energy and electricity to the games. Like the crowd reactions to the reviews have been a lot of fun. I don't know. I know you were a little bit more negative than I was. Are you still kind of in that boat?
I feel better about it now, and I think one of the things I always liked about baseball as a sport is its quirks. Mm-hmm. And ABS has added some quirks.
Yeah,
it's added
right.
some weird, strange, literally complicated strategy. Mm-hmm. Who's going to challenge? When are they going to challenge? What happens if you screw it up in the third inning? So I think it's actually kind of added a fascinating element. You know, there'll be some weird moments, I'm sure, and it's not going to take out controversy completely.
Right.
But I think that it makes it fair. I think there'll certainly be fewer instances in where a batter is super aggrieved. I think in a way, I think it kind of feel bad for the umpires sometimes. Yeah. And genuinely, because the success rate is about 50%. Mm-hmm. Give or take.
On those...
In general, on the
the
challenges.
challenges, yeah.
Which makes
Right.
you realize the umpires do a pretty good job. Mm-hmm. If it's 50% of the calls that the batter and the catcher is so convinced was wrong,
right.
and half of them weren't even wrong. So, I don't know, give the umpires a little bit of credit. There are, obviously the ones that get the attention are the CB Buckners and whatever, but, I think it adds intrigue and adds interest. I think the question is how long are we going to do ABS until it goes to total robot umps, and I'm still opposed to total robot umps.
Oh yeah,
but I think
absolutely.
because that's going to obviously takes away strategy and framing and elements. But right now, the catcher framing is less important, but it's the decision of when to challenge is something that a catcher still has impact on the game, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued that we'll see how it continues to go, but I'm a little bit more open to it. I think more.
That's good.
understanding of it.
I feel like
than I was before.
Yeah, and then it's brought a lot of attention to baseball too. I think a lot of people are talking about ABS and how this is changing the sport. And yeah, I liked what you said about like the strategy of who challenges and when to challenge. I remember there was a game where the Nats lost their challenges in the third inning, and Blake Butera kind of talked about how he's going to have to like talk to his players about how
That's the Nationals manager, by the way. I don't think a lot of people know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were like, who?
33-year-old Blake Butera. Like whether to do it more only if it's men on base, or if it's the later innings, or only if you're so like extremely convinced. But then if you're challenging, everyone's gonna think that they're extremely convinced. Right. So yeah, there's so much like strategy that's gotten into it, and I think that a lot of like different discussions have kind of popped up and will continue to pop up because of this new system.
Yeah, I'm glad it's being done this way, and it's really more strategy than you even think. There's so many variables. There's the count, the inning, who is batting, who of the three parties involved is going to challenge. The situation, if you have one challenge left or two challenges left.
Right.
And how certain or uncertain are you? So I think that there's so much goes into it. I think that's the part that makes it really interesting for me. So I think we'll see how it continues to go. I am intrigued. I'm sure there's going to be some controversy.
Mm-hmm. There's going to be like a big.
It's not going to be. It's not. I think it's having a honeymoon right now.
Yeah,
I'm about it, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a fantasy baseball league, Tom. We don't have to spend too much time about it, but
I
just wanted to shout out my team.
Yeah,
Tommy. We spent a little bit of a time in first place on opening day,
and I'm looking at the standings right now, and you're the exact opposite of first place.
Well. My team name is called Meet the Mets, and if you look at my roster, that's what you would do. Very exciting.
Should I read all the names out loud?
Great players on the team. It's most of the Mets. I didn't get Juan Soto, unfortunately. I got a bad draft slot, but I was able to make it up with adding an extra relief pitcher.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, looking over the roster now, every single player on your roster is a New York Met. They're all playing at 9:15 p.m. tonight.
So maybe we'll make some progress in the standings.
We'll see. I mean, that's. I guess you're gonna live and die with the Mets in fantasy as well. So
it's been a rough couple of days.
Yeah,
3 runs in 3 games will do it to you when that's
Yeah, and I have my team mascot is my favorite player is Stephen Kwan, and so I have him in the outfield here. I like my team. I think over the course of the season, the cream will eventually rise to the top, and I will be the rightful winner of this league.
Oh, well, we'll see, and we'll stay updated about that
for sure.
Speaking of the Mets, we're going to check in on the Mets. They're not very good, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
What's that? 3 in a row?
The Mets have played the Pirates, the Cardinals, and the Giants, and they're 3-4. I feel like that's not very good.
Yeah.
David Stern's apparently still a genius, but we'll see.
Like what's lacking? Is it the hitting? Is it the pitching?
Well,
the bullpen? All of it.
Maybe somebody next time will tell Francisco Lindor how many outs there are.
Oh, okay.
That would be a good start.
Yeah, maybe Mendoza needs to do that.
Maybe he could take a little bit of a smaller lead and not get picked off in the same game. Somebody could also tell the Carson bench, he's a rookie, but maybe he's played baseball before, how to catch a pop-up in the 11th inning with the game on the line. Whoever the new third base coach is, that you shouldn't send somebody to get thrown out at home with no outs in the 11th inning when you're down by a run, and you're supposed to have the winning run at second base. So it's the little things, Tommy. It's the little things.
Yeah.
And all their fancy new acquisitions are hidden like below the Mendoza line, way below the Mendoza line.
Bo Bichette, he's not cutting it right now.
It's going to take them a while. It's a hot streak to get to the Mendoza line. Bichette, Semien, Polanco.
Yeah.
Lindor, unfortunately. It's ugly.
Yeah, and Semien had a bad year last year too, and so he might just be.
David Stearns is not as smart as people think he is.
Yeah, I know. Well, who's saying that he's smart?
I don't know. All of the Mets people want to. Probably not anymore. We're pretty quick to turn. But
people in the Mets organization.
No, but right. And look, the broadcasters, they kind of have no choice.
Yeah.
I would be intrigued to see what they really think. But Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a crazy hot take that he's doing a terrible job, but he's just, I mean, he came over from the Brewers with an esteemed reputation of taking literally taking a small market team with one of the best, regular seasons, and then he came here and he makes all his paper, spreadsheet inspired moves, and he trades all away the fan favorites, and then everyone's upset, but then, he signed all these great players, Bo Bichette, blah, 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 Freddie Peralta, and it turns out that he's taken a lot of money and he's assembled a mediocre team with some of the highest payroll in the league. To me, that's not very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I really don't have anything else to add.
We'll see what happens, but yeah. I'm not very impressed.
Yeah, I enjoy watching the Mets lose, so I'm not gonna complain too much about it. But I know you feel differently about that.
I do as much as I feel frustrated with the Mets. I do want them to win.
Yeah, right.
I'm a little concerned.
To check in on the Nats, they have the same record as the Mets, 3-4.
Wow.
So yeah, I mentioned the Nats won that series in Chicago against the Cubs to open the season. They win the game 1 in Philly the next day after that. So I'm feeling great. 3-1 start.
So the Mets.
Joey Wiemer is not getting out.
Oh, that's right. That was quite amazing.
Yeah, the Joey Wiemer his first 10 at bats, he made it on base, which tied some record. Carlos Delgado, I think.
Carlos
the only one
Delgado,
since, like, the
Mets
50s.
legend.
Yeah. And then they dropped the next 2 against the Phillies. Both of those were one-run deficits, one-run defeats. And then today we got completely blown out by the Dodgers. So we're back to a losing record. It's kind of the same old, I thought maybe something was brewing after that 3-1 start. Maybe something is, and these are tough opponents we're facing. But yeah, I don't think these Nats are a playoff team. Definitely not. I think maybe they're showing something that they can kind of improve over the kind of horrible last 5 or so years. But yeah, it's I'm tempering my expectations.
You need Howie Kendrick.
Yeah, we need that magic back.
Yeah, blown out by the Dodgers impressively, despite the fact that all 9 Nationals had a base hit in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is really good. The offense has looked good. I mean, even James Wood has not looked great.
Batting average.
Yeah. Dalen Lyle, Brady House,
Marcus
I think
Semien.
they look good. And then I mentioned Joey Wiemer. A lot of unsung heroes on this lineup. The James Wood and C.J. Abrams, the 2 guys that you would really hope to lead this offense, are not really cutting it so far. But thankfully, there's some other guys who are picking them up. But I don't know. We'll see.
I would stay up till late in the morning gambling on C.J. Abrams to get the job done for the Nationals.
Yeah, there's a Bally's Casino downtown Chicago.
That's right. I'm sure he was there. All right, it's time for some bold predictions for the season. Tommy, what do you got?
So you mentioned the Marlins. The Fish, I think they're 5-2 right now. I'm gonna say that we see the Marlins make a push for the playoffs this year. They have a young team, but there's just a lot of talent. They like Yuri Perez pitching, Owen Casey in the lineup. Who else? I mean, Sandy Alcantara's looked better this year.
Yeah, I saw him. It's cool seeing him in person, even after all these years.
I know, yeah. Last year was not great for him, but if he can get back to somewhere close to what he was before, that's going to be a huge X factor. But yeah, I think the Marlins could make a playoff push this year. What about you? Do you have any bold predictions?
There's a broader bold prediction. I think this is just stems from my ongoing frustration with Rob Manfred.
Uh-huh.
I think we're going to get a team in the playoffs that's 500 or below.
Oh, really? In the
6 of the top 15 in one league. It hasn't happened yet, but I don't think it's impossible. Well, the Reds were 83-79?
Same record as the Mets.
Yeah, and they made it in. So I think that's going to be. I think if that happens, we'll have some perspective on how ridiculous some of these Rob Manfred reforms have been. So there's one.
Do you think it's going to be an AL team or an NL team?
I think it's going to be an NL team because of the Dodgers.
Oh yeah. They're gonna eat
That
up so
makes
many
sense.
of the wins that the NL
Yeah.
gets. Yeah, that makes sense.
Could be the Marlins.
Could be the Marlins. Maybe we both are.
would make
We're
sense.
both right here. So, did you have any other predictions? I'm trying to think if I had any.
Well, I'm trying to think about the Mets. I've gone back and forth. I think they were my preseason pick to win the World Series, and now I'm not as confident. And now I'm thinking maybe they go bust, but I don't want to go that far negative. Yeah, so I guess I'll reserve judgment on that. But I'm going to say that Richard Lovelady is going to have a breakout season.
Wow, breakout relief season.
That's right.
The former Nat for
That's
spring
right.
training.
Very
He was a Nat.
briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was also really high on the A's going into this year, but they're 1-5, so I might not make that a bold
Playing
prediction.
playoff games in West Sacramento.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's all I had on bold predictions.
Yeah. I think it's time for our favorite game. It's called Stump Tommy. Tommy's never got a question right. I think it tried to make the questions a little easier to see if Tommy maybe will get a question right.
Okay.
So here's a question, and you're going to be within one. You're going to be within 1.00.
Okay.
What is Miles Michaelis' season ERA?
Okay. He gave up 11 earned runs today.
11.
Yeah, which was a...
And that's why he was my notable player, because that's notable. 11 is notable. He threw 87 pitches.
Oh my God. And he I think the second game of the season, he gave up around 5 or something like that. Which, by the way, 11 earned runs was, I read somewhere, regular season record or just franchise record for the Nats. Most earned runs in a start.
11,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, these days you usually get pulled. I mean, they pulled Paul Skeens after 5. You know?
I know, and we're letting Miles Michaelis. He's giving up more than double that, and he's still in the game.
Yeah.
We have no one else better to put in. But,
Clearly.
okay, 2026 ERA for Miles Michaelis. I'm gonna go with 35.
You're not very close.
Okay.
It's 1446.
Okay, I overshot it too much.
Yeah. It's bad, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, well, the reason why it's a lot lower than I thought because
Pitched 4 in the third inning.
yeah, he may give up 11 runs, but he's gonna pitch. He's gonna
Innings
pitch.
eater.
They're gonna keep him in.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how you know the teams are not going to make the playoffs before the season starts.
Right.
Is when they've got true innings eaters.
True innings eaters.
You
The
know,
Miles Michaelises of the
The
world.
John Lannons of the world.
The Patrick Corbins of the world.
Yeah,
you know?
so, right. And he's just somebody that's just a career innings eater.
I like to say Sonny Gray is the Cy Young of innings eaters.
Yeah, but he's been good.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he's the I don't know, the Paul Skeens of innings eaters.
I suppose, but I think of innings eater as someone who's,
That's true.
more
I just really like those early 2020s Cardinals rotations with Miles Michaelis and Lance Lynn and Sonny
Michael
Gray,
Wacha.
Michael Wacha. Yeah,
Former
those
Met.
are guys you knew were going to pitch some innings.
Yes. All right, well, name a player.
Name a player. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with Joey Weimer.
Well, in honor of Carson Benz dropping a pop-up to lose the game, I'm going to go with Luis Castillo, the
All right.
Mets Luis Castillo.
Yeah, there's a lot of Luis Castillos.
Yes, and now now he's got company and dropping a game-losing pop-up.
Yeah.
Carson Benz wasn't as bad, but it did bring back the memories.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us today, but baseball isn't going anywhere, and neither are we, Tommy.
I know, we got another week of baseball coming up. That's the best thing about baseball season.
That's right, and I heard a rumor that we might have some special guests on in coming weeks. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see if it's true. Trade rumors, you never know. It's
You never
like the
know.
same
It could
thing.
be. It could be a smoke screen.
It could be a smoke screen. It could be Carlos Gomez to the Mets.
Yeah,
We'll see.
It could be or Wilmer Flores.
That's right.
Leaving the Mets.
All right. Well, hopefully no tears on next week's podcast. Well, thanks for joining us. That's it for this week's edition of Infield Fly. See you next time.